What up, everybody? This is your boy, Eric the Unit Norris from SLC Punkcast, giving you this week's episode of Live and Wired and Tales from the Pit. And guys, this last weekend was pretty damn busy for me. I performed a show with my band Anonymous all the way up in Ogden. That was our second time ever performing in Ogden. The last time was just a few weeks ago at Kamikaze's, and this time was at Funk and Dive. And then I had another show on Saturday where, well, I got to see a band that I've been listening to since high school. I haven't seen them for almost 10 years. The last time I saw them was in a venue that doesn't exist anymore, so that's how long it's been. But I will get into that later. So, in just a few minutes here. So, but one thing I gotta say is, guys, there's gonna be a lot of shows happening. I'm gonna be stretched pretty thin with how much time I can talk about, and working on all my other stuff and dealing with stuff in my personal life. A lot of movements are happening, and it's just pretty goddamn stressful. But such is life, I know I'll come out on top, motherfuckers. But anyway, this was quite a busy weekend, and next weekend is going to be even busier. I will get into that shortly. But as for what happened last Friday and Saturday, let's get into it. This is Tales from the Pit, where I went, had a nice night skanking up in Ogden, and then partied with the Gypsy Punks down in Salt Lake. We'll call this a weekend with drunken moon stompers and Ukrainian underdogs. We'll say that. So basically, the first show was kind of funny. My band Anonymous, I guess we were scheduled to play a show up at the Funk and Dive Bar in Ogden with our friends in Pirates of the Promised Land, and the ska band from Idaho called the Opscometrists. And I learned about this a week prior, and well, I knew that we had talked about this show. They were originally asking Josh, my other, if our other band could perform, that's the Apathetics. But the Apathetics couldn't do it. And then Josh threw the idea like, hey, what if my other band Anonymous wants to play? And then he asked us. I guess we all said yes, and then we kind of forgot about it. And no one really did any promotion for the show, at least none which I could see. No one even made a flyer until like last week, and then it was like, okay, here we are. Okay, guess we're doing a show. I mean, I wasn't pissed or anything. Like, I'm sure, okay, I guess we're playing a show with a couple of ska bands, and we sound nothing like what they are laying down. It's gonna be funny either way. It's gonna be fun either way. And we're gonna be playing first. If you listen to my band Anonymous, we are metal and hardcore as fuck. We're like that, we're heavy as shit. And we're opening up for a ska band and also with a skate punk band. So that was just kind of weird. I mean, I love mixed genre bills. It was just kind of funny. It's like, yeah, we don't fit in, but we also kind of like it. But we get there, and there were some hardcore kids there. I could see some people like wearing a Blood for Blood shirt, wearing another guy wearing a what was it? A Death by Stereo shirt. And yeah, I said, okay, we're not going to do too terribly. And yeah, sure, these guys may be like in a ska band, they may be in a pop punk band or skate punk band, but we can assume that they listen to other things too. That's kind of how it goes. And we played our set, and and it went over pretty well. And there was this one lady there. It was what was her name? I believe her name was Michaela. Either way, this person, I will look up her name in just a minute, but she was recording our entire set. Well, every band's entire set. She was just right up in the front with her phone. Oh, Vicky Diamond. That's her YouTube handle. I will post a link to And we'll put a link in the description for where to where you can find her and all of the live sets that she has put up. And the most recent one was my band set and pirate set and optometrist set. So if you missed the show, you can see a bit of it right there. Kind of nice. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes. So we got there and we were setting up and everything, and was just sort of gauging the audience, seeing like, okay. And I was just bantering with them up on stage, and we're just getting everybody hyped and kind of telling people, hey, I know you've been sitting around, but we are ready to perform. We're ready to play a show. And yeah, spoiler alert, we're not going to sound anything like the other two bands, but that's pretty cool, right? So yeah, we just went on with the set. We played the same 5 songs we've been playing the last few shows because, well, I was hoping to get a new song, one of our newer songs down before we play our show this week. But then this show just happened upon us. Like, oh fuck, I guess we said yes to this. Okay, we'll just do the same shit. But guys, it's getting tiresome. We will get new stuff, but for now we have to just roll with the punches. Not a bad thing. We're playing to a new crowd, so we may be playing the same material, but people are hearing it for the first time. And yeah, we played our set, had a great time doing it. We sounded great, except for the times when Josh kept walking over his guitar tuning pedal, which, if you know, cuts off all the sound from the amp so that the guitar can tune. And then there was another time where Bryce kept hitting the outlet, well, the extension cord where his bass was plugged in, and he hit it a couple of times, and I could tell, like, oh shit, the bass is gone. So a couple of little mishaps like that, but no, nothing major. And yeah, the crowd was all into it. I was having a good time. We were all having a good time up on stage. We made a lot of stupid jokes on there. And I mean, I can't remember one of them. I remember making references to Death Clock or Metalocalypse. I remember at one point I said, this is a very important thing. We need to build a space helicopter. Which, if you've seen the show, yeah, you probably get that reference. Or if you watch the show as much as I have and obsessed over it as much as I have, then yeah, you probably get that reference. But that's not important. What is important is that we played a good set. People really loved us. We made a good amount of money in merch. Some people bought some shirts from us, bought a couple of patches and stickers. There was we even sold to a British person. This lady, she comes with a very thick British accent. Her name was Kat, and she was really nice. And just hearing her speak her praises in her accent, I don't know. There's just something coming from a British person. It just sounds very official. But maybe that's just because I'm American and we always look to Brits as the authoritarians that we had to rebel against all those centuries ago. So maybe we still kind of hold that distinction towards them. But I don't know. Maybe the people over in the UK look at us Americans as just, underdogs, as just these little urchins. Stereotypes. They're funny. They really are funny. Yeah, so Anonymous had a really good set. We played very well. People loved us. I was stoked. And it's kind of a nice thing about playing first. You do your set, you're done, and then you can just chill for the rest of the night. And chill we did. The next band to come up on the stage was Optometrists. And Optometrists, this was my first time ever hearing about them, and they are apparently a very well-established band. They've been around since 1998, 99. And I was talking to their singer, Bruce, backstage. Yeah, we actually had a backstage, and I didn't even know about it. I had to kind of find it. Yeah, we had a green room, and I was talking to him, and I was asking, like, how is that? And he said, well, it's been pretty crazy. We've gone through like maybe 20 or 30 different people in this band, in the different positions and everything. We've even had a show where we came back, like we went on a hiatus and then came back with mostly original members. Sometimes the OG members come back for a few shows. Sometimes we have to replace them. It's been a wild ride. I'm just like, God, you guys, what are you doing? I mean, that's amazing that you're still trucking on, but that is really stressful. So, I mean, more power to you. More power to you, indeed. And they played a really great set, and yeah, just some classic ska music. And yeah, it was fun. They were having a great time. There were people moving all around in a circle, moon stomping. I'm sure you can see all of that on Vicky's YouTube. Again, we'll post a link. And yeah, they did a few cool covers. They actually covered "I Shot the Sheriff" by Bob Marley, and which was awesome to me. I never heard anyone cover Bob Marley, at least not a ska band, which is weird to me because people forget that Bob Marley, yes, he is primarily known as a reggae artist, but he did have his ventures in ska with the Wailers, you know? And of course, any band who's a ska band looking to cover a ska song, they did, of course, did "A Message to You, Rudies," which everyone loved. Everyone got into it, and I'm including myself. I absolutely love the Specials. I love that song. And yes, I know it's a cover. A lot of their more famous ones are covers of, traditional Jamaican dubs and different and old school reggae artists. But it's great all the same. And then they did a ska version of the song, A White Wedding. I almost said Rebel Yell. I'm like, no, the other overplayed Billy Idol. Nothing against Mr. Idol. He wrote the hits. He made his bank off of there. And yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. And it's nice to hear a sort of we could say reimagining of it. It was a reimagining. And it was great. It was great. I was really enjoying it. And they played a long set. Like, it was a super long set, which, yeah, you're coming all the way down from Idaho. You're playing in a bar. You're going to have to keep the people entertained. And yeah, I really enjoyed their set. I really enjoyed it. I was just hanging out in the back, like the back room. There's where the pool hall is. If you've ever been to Funk and Dive, it's really weird. It's an underground bar. You have the general area and you have the bar, and then you go all the way to the end and there's the stage. But behind the stage is this other bar area that is of general admittance, and that's where the pool tables are. And then you go back that way to get to the bathrooms and then the green room. I know the layout may seem a bit confusing, and I'm probably not doing a great job of explaining it, but the point is you could actually get back behind the stage, and there's a little bar area just right around the perimeter of the... Why am I forgetting? Just behind the stage. And this little bar area, you can have your drinks, put your food there, and that's where I was sitting. I was just watching them kind of from behind. So yeah, kind of an interesting setup, but that's what it was. And but yeah, their set was good, no matter which angle you look at it. And yeah, there was this guy going around in the pit. He was skanking around, and he was dressed like Superman. It was almost like Aquabats, but he wasn't dressed like the Aquabats. He had like a blue shirt with an S on it, not a Superman S, just the letter S, and he had a red cape. I'm like, oh, it's Super Ska Man. I may have to, nah, don't worry about it. I'm sure you can find it in the video. And finally, Pirates of the Promised Land. They came and closed out the night, and they are just an awesome band to hear live. They are just super fun, energetic, really just lighthearted skate punk, and playing with big old smiles on their faces. Their drummer, she is an absolute beast. Just such consistent beats and just really powerful. You can tell she is like putting her all into it. And yeah, they just have such good energy about them. Such good energy. They made a lot of your mom jokes on stage. Well, not yo mama jokes, but jokes pertaining to, the women that gave them life. It was so funny. I can't remember what the actual jokes were, but again, you can entertain yourself in the video on Vicky Diamond's YouTube. Oh, and they also had a lovely cover. They covered "Stupid Kid" by Alkaline Trio. And now that gave me and Josh an idea, like, we got to do an Alkaline Trio cover when we play a show with them next week. Well, more on that later. So, it was a great night. It was a great night, and I didn't... some of the people got drunk up there. A lot of the people got drunk. It's a ska show, punk show, in Yeah, in a dive bar, people are going to drink. And me, I had to drive all the way back to Salt Lake City, so I couldn't drink too much, Yes, I got to be responsible. um, so yeah, it was a fun night. It was great. And we'll give you and I'll make sure that we have a link in the description below of where you can locate those videos. Now, I do have some other footage from the other show that I attended, which was Gogol Bordello. Yeah. So that's a new thing that I want to start doing is like I take footage from the show. Like I take videos and I post them on my Instagram story. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, why don't I just hold on to the videos and we can put them into the actual Tales from the Pit video themselves. Should be relatively simple. So we're going to do that. Anyway, enough talk. Let's talk about the show Gogol Bordello. Gogol Bordello was at the Union, and yeah, I know that those shows start earlier, and it was a 3-band bill. I knew that Puzzle Panther was playing, and what was the name of the other guy that was playing? It was please hold for just 1 second, because I know that it was a solo artist, a single artist, a solo artist. I know it was Boris. It was Boris and something. What should be that? What's that just be the name? Boris and something? That sounds like a gag band. Boris and the Joy. That's right. Boris and the Joy. I missed his set. But because the Union is in a residential area, like it's surrounded by a neighborhood, they do have to comply with noise ordinances, even though they are an established venue, which sucks. It does mean that shows get out earlier, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if you go to an all-ages venue and you want to go somewhere where you have drinks that don't cost an arm and a leg, $12 Michelob Ultras, fuck off, man. That's not, yeah, you want to go to the bar afterwards, you still can, and you still have plenty of time to get your drink on before last call. So yeah, that is kind of nice. But the downside is like the shows start earlier. So if you're working a regular 9 to 5, like me, you have to go straight from work, no time to dawdle, get all the way up to the Union and check out just so you can catch a glimpse of the first act. It's ridiculous. It really sucks, but that's just the hands that we're dealt, so that's what we got to roll with. So yeah, I missed Boris and the Joy, and when I got there, Puzzle Panther had gone through most of their set. Like they were on like the last few songs. And Puzzle Panther, I liked them. I liked their music. It was a bit more on like the psych rock side of things, and a bit more, more like a 90s alt rock, And it also made sense. I was trying to put a finger to the artist they reminded me of. I'm like, who is this? And then they covered the song Heavy Boots by Sonic Youth. I go, there it is. Yes. Those types of bands like Sonic Youth, the Smashing Pumpkins, the 90s alt rock era, not necessarily grunge, not necessarily, emo or post-hardcore, but kind of on the art rock side. That's what Puzzle Panther reminded me of, and I was digging it. I liked it. I liked them all right. I wouldn't go out of my way to listen to them, but I certainly do respect their musicianship. It's no disrespect to the band or what they are doing. It's just I don't go out of my way to listen to psych stuff or that type of music, because it gets old pretty fast, unless it's like super interesting, And it may be too much of me to judge a band just based on seeing them over just hearing a few songs of theirs live, no less. Yeah, I guess I'm rambling a little too much here. It's not like their performance was bad. They performed pretty well. They were lively. The singer was dancing and moving all over the place, getting people excited. It was fun. Yeah, they were a fun band. Yeah. So I'm glad that I was able to catch at least part of their set. That was Puzzled Panther. And now we went to now we get onto the main event, the Gogol Bordello. And Gogol Bordello has a special place in my heart because, I mean, aside from them just being like a total slap in the face, like, what the fuck kind of music is this? I never heard this type of folk music before, based out of Ukraine and Russia and those types of, that type of folk music. But with this much amped up energy, with, including it into the punk rock spectrum, I was floored. I thought, they can make music like this? I mean, it was at the point of a lot of discovery in that time, and I just absolutely loved Gogol Bordello. I loved their energy. I loved their music. I just loved them. They were great. And another part of my heart that they hold, another reason why they are holding a special place in my heart, is that when I went to see them perform for the first time way back in 2013, that was the first show that I reviewed officially for Slug magazine, and my review became my first published article. And that is something that holds great significance to me. My first article was reviewing Gogol Bordello's show when they were on I believe it was their Transcontinental Hustle album. I think that they were on tour supporting that album. And they were playing with another band called Visa, V-I-Z-A, who, as far as I know, have not toured the U.S. since then. But they're still active. They're still releasing music and still doing a few shows here and there. They're based out of Los Angeles. It's not like they're from everywhere. It's not like they're based in overseas somewhere. I don't know. I wish that they would tour more. They're still releasing music. They're still active as far as I know. Just want to see them again. But anyway, they are a great band. But we're talking about Gogol here. So that was my first time seeing Gogol Bordello. And I saw them one other time, like some 3 or 4 years later. And that was the last time that I saw them. It was around 2016, 2017, around that time. I think it was 2016. And it was still just a great show. And I had not seen them since. The last time they were here, though, it was August of 2022, I believe. And I went to another show that night. And there were 3 shows that were going on that I wanted to attend. Excuse me, I'm moving my hands around too much. I don't mean to be up here and then be back here. I'm trying to keep it steady. That time they came in August. One show that was going on was Amigo the Devil, playing at the the Gallivan Center. And I was planning on going to that show, but I got the dates mixed up. I looked up the date when he was here, or when he was performing, and thought, okay, it's a week after this show, so I can go to that. What I didn't notice was that, he played that date, but it was the year prior that I was looking. It was a show that had already passed. The show that he was playing this year was, the same day as the show that I went to, and so I missed that one. But the show that I went to, it was a show at the DLC. It was an underground, all-locals punk rock show with 3 of my favorite local punk bands, Filth Lords, Goat Sifter, and All Systems Fail. So I really wanted to go to that one. So I missed out on Gogol Bordello because, well, friends supporting each other, I guess. Yeah. Maybe it was also because I didn't want to shell out so much money to go see Gogol Bordello, even though I love them. And it just made more sense to go see the $5 all-local punk show with bringing a friend of mine to check him out. So it was kind of give and take. So when I saw that Gogol Bordello was coming back this year, I go, oh fuck, I can't miss it this time. Even my friend Xavier, who I haven't seen in a while, he sent me a message. You going to Gogol Bordello tonight, right? I say, yes, I am planning on it. Are you there right now? How is it? He says, yeah, the first band is up right now, so you better get your ass down here. Okay, I'm coming. I'm a-coming. I hadn't even bought my ticket yet, so, but I knew I had to be there. So he was the one who sort of lit the fire under my ass, like, get off the couch and get to the show. And yeah, we did meet up. There. He's a friend of mine that I've known since high school. We rode Brighton together, the ski resort. He was a boarder, I was a skier, and we just always hung out in the same groups. And I hadn't seen him for a few months, and it was nice. It was nice catching up with him and getting sort of reacquainted. And of course, he's asking me, like, what shows are you going to? What show did you go to? I mean, he'd been to all these shows that I wanted to, and he ended up going, and all this fun shit. But, so that's just kind of how it goes. He invited me to go check out another show next month. Can't remember the guy's name, but it's like, if you listen to him and you like it, I'll buy you your ticket. Okay, well, I'll see what I can do. I'll let you know. So yeah, we're just sitting there and we're just kind of talking and reminiscing and just waiting, counting down the minutes for when Gogol takes the stage, and then the house lights go out. And also I should note that everyone was like sporting Ukrainian flags, and even more so now because of the conflict, all the war that's going on between Ukraine and Russia right now. So, yeah, people of Ukrainian descent are feeling, extra patriotic. And, of course, there are the people who are advocating for the Ukrainians, saying, like, this, we're on your side. That was a fucking horrible invasion. They caught you. They fucking blindsided you. What the fuck? Right as you were about to join NATO, too. That's stupid. Yeah, so, basically, the crowd was adorned with a lot of Ukrainian flags. I'm talking about those little ones that are like the size of letters, envelope size, say that. And they were like attached to people's hats, or they were like latched down to their battle vests. Or people were just like sticking them up and waving them with their hands. Point is, there was a lot of that, which is awesome. More power to the Ukrainian people, and it does make sense because Eugene Hutz, the singer, is Ukrainian, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was just awesome how he's like been implementing that revolutionary music for his home country into the new Gogol Bordello album. And I mean, they've always been like very politically active in their music. I mean, Underdog World Strike was all about the workers and the going up against the corporations. And they're no stranger to this. They're no stranger to it at all. Only this time around, it felt more personal, And yeah, with that being said, they enter the stage and they come on with the song Ignition, which is the opening song for that new album, which, by the way, it's called We Mean It, Man. We mean it, man. Which is something that they say throughout their discography. It's been sort of like their calling card, their rally to arms. We mean it, man. It was just a matter of time before they actually released an album and or song with, they actually did do a song with it too, that was named that. So yeah, they start up with Ignition, people are going crazy, and then they get right into the classic, I Would Never Want to Be Young Again, and that's when people really started moving. A lot of dancing, a lot of jumping and bouncing around, and a lot of sing-alongs. And then they get to one of the songs that I wanted to hear for such a long time, Not a Crime! Oh, I was happy. That was my introduction to Gogol Bordello. Hearing that infectious accordion and violin melody that just sounds like it erupted out of out of the, I don't remember my geography, out of like some, just right out of Eastern Europe. And it just stuck with me. That's when I got into the pit and just started bouncing around and just making everybody just being a problem to everybody. Okay, not a problem. Everyone's dancing around and having a good time. It was great. Super great. And they just kept that energy going with Immigrant Punk and Wanderlust King, and then one of my other personal favorites, My Compañera. That was getting gnarly. Oh God! After a while, I had to take a break, and just like, okay, let's just watch the show for a minute. I'm losing my breath here. And one thing that they did, they played their song, not their song. They went to play a cover song by who else? Puzzle Panther. The Puzzle Panther song from Boyarka to Boyaca. They played that song and invited all the guys from Puzzle Panther, the guitarist, the vocalist, and their drummer, to come out and sing it with them. So it was nice. Nice little collaboration. Like, yeah, we're all in this. Let's play each other's songs. It was really cool. And I wonder if Puzzle Panther did something similar. I mean, I doubt that they did. It would be cool if, like, they bring out some of the guys from Gogol Bordello and play one of Gogol's songs. But yeah, I think that would have been too far of a reach. It would be cool, but I think they saved that for like the headlining band. But anyway, it was such good energy. It was so much fun. It was so much fun to see that, just listen to those guys riff off of each other with their instruments. It was, yeah, a match made in heaven, you will say. Anyway, the hits just kept coming. They did No Time for Idiots. They did the aforementioned We Mean It Man. They did Life is Possible again, which got everybody like rallying up. It was awesome. And then there were certain intervals where their percussionist, what's his name, Pedro Erazo would come out from behind his kit with like all the the beat machine and his bongo drums, and he would be the front man for a while, and he'd just get everybody hyped up. Oh, and the same thing would go for Erica Mancini, who does do their accordion, but then she also would bring the bass drum out and start hitting that, dance around a little bit, and just just be the confidant to Eugene, help get the audience hyped up when he was just sitting back and taking a break. You know what I mean? Everyone was involved. And the crowd was still just so fucking lively, and there was a lot of crowd surfing, but this was something weird. People who were crowd surfing, they started crowd surfing towards the back. Not going to the stage, going to the back. That was really weird. I have never seen that. I thought it was kind of funny. Thankfully, there were light crowd surfers. One of them was my friend Walter, who brought her sister to the show as well. She introduced herself to me. I can't remember her name, so sorry for that if you're listening. But yeah, both women are a very slender, very lightweight build. So, and it was people like that, mostly like kids, like teenagers who were coming around, and they were also very lightweight. So it's not like it was a huge, and I mean huge deal. So yeah, it was fine. We were chill. But it was just such a weird phenomena. I had never seen people crowd surfing towards the back. The whole idea is to go to the front to get closer to the band. So I don't know. Someone started it, and then people just kept following. I'm like, okay, that works. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, the energy was just off the chain. People were just going nuts. I was going in and out of the pit, dancing around, and just overall having a great time. And then they close the set with Start Wearing Purple. I was so happy to hear that one. I knew it was coming. They're always playing the song. It's one of their runaway singles. Start wearing purple. Yeah. it's a wonderful song. It gets everybody singing together, as I'm sure you'll see. It's just awesome. I have no qualms against that song. It's a great sing-along, gets everybody rallied together. It's fucking awesome. And then they walk off the stage, and we all know. It's like, no, you got more. Come on back. And yes, they come back to their stage, and then they continue the set. They encore with one of their songs, obviously, one of their new songs, Boiling Point. And then they do the actual, excuse me. Then they do their actual show ender, the anthemic Undestructible. And I was so happy to hear that song. That is one of my favorites that came from their Underdog World Strike album. But with that being said, I was hoping beyond hope that they would play 60 revolutions per minute. That is probably within the top 3 favorite songs, between that one and Not a Crime and the one that they play in Indestructible. Those are like the 3 best songs from that album. That whole album is great. All of it's great, but those are the 3 standouts, at least to me. So, and on that note, I was also hoping that they would play the song When the Universes Collide. I have heard that live before, and it is just anthemic. It's just it gets so loud. It just feels so large that when everyone is screaming, hey, 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 na, 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 when the universes collide. Well, you can't have it all. But hey, if maybe next time they will play it. But this time definitely felt like it was awesome. It was awesome seeing Gogol Bordello again. I can't recommend them enough. And these guys, they are getting up there in age. That's just factual. They're in their like 50s now. Well, except for their violinist, the guy from Russia. What's his name? Sergei Ryabtsev. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, that guy, big long white beard and everything. I'm sure he's 60 something. but even he is just like, he was also very lively up on stage, just shredding it away on that violin, and then just looking at people, getting a nice little, back and forth action from the audience. He was just so lively. Yeah, everyone was lively. Everyone was just great at what they were doing. It was, they still know how to perform. They still perform very well, and they may be 50, 60 something right now, but they are still playing like they are in their 20s. It's amazing to me. I love that they still have that youthful energy in their stage performance and in their music. Just when you listen to them on the record, they are still sounding very lively. They still got a lot to say. They still sound like they want to be doing what they're doing. And yeah, it's translated very well. So Gogol Bordello, go see them if you haven't already. They're still on tour. If you're listening to this from from another state, check your tour listings, check your club listings, see if Gogol Bordello is coming, and make a point to go see them, especially if you haven't already, because everyone needs to see them at least once. Yeah, that was my, those were my tales from the pit with the Moon Stompers and the Gypsy Punks. It was a great night. It was a great weekend. Yeah, and this next weekend is going to be even busier. And why, oh why is that so? Well, Anonymous is playing a show tonight. Let's get to the shows. Anonymous is actually going to be playing a show tonight. If you're listening to this on Friday, it is tonight. We'll be playing the EP release show of our band, of my friend's band, Warm Veins. They just released an album, not this year, but last year, like late last year. Really heavy shoegazy type music. And it sounds good. It sounds really good. But this will be like the belated album release show. And my band Anonymous is playing that. So that's going to be the start of my very busy weekend. So let's get into the weekend. On the March 7th, the show that I'll be playing is with my friend Zach's band Mellow Panic, my friend Conrad's band Never Don'ts, and my other friends and Pirates of the Promised Land, and the band and Knuckles. Yeah, I have never seen and Knuckles, haven't even heard them, and they're playing my house. So that's actually pretty cool. I didn't put this show together. Zach of Mellow Panic did. I'm providing the venue, and my band Apathetics is playing with them. So both of my bands are playing 2 shows back to back. It's pretty crazy being in this life. Anyway, that's at my house, Poser Palace. It's a $5 show, going to be starting at 6 p.m. Meanwhile, down south in Provo, Sectide, Baghead, Do Not Resuscitate, Kiss Your Idols are all going to be playing at the Speak Easy down there. That, too, is a $5 show, and it will be starting at 7 p.m. And then Kilby Block Party is having their locals highlight. Kilby Block Party isn't until May, but they are getting they're at least getting the train rolling, getting the hype built up by having some early side shows just to sort of dip the toes in. I know that Jerem, when he was doing Crucial Fest, he did the exact same thing, having like all these mini warm-up shows or like these halfway point shows before leading up to the main event, Crucial Fest, which was in August. So that's what Kilby Block Party is doing right now. So this one will include Chalk, Nadezhda, Star 67, and Gonk. That'll be where else? At Kilby Court. It is $10 if you're buying in advance, $12 at the door, and it starts at 7 p.m. And for all you old school metalheads, the guys who have a penchant for southern twinged metal and a bit more on the groovy side and just really love to hear some chunky riffs along with some great sweating and a singer who sounds like he's kind of swallowing his tongue, well, Black Label Society got that for you. And who should be opening for Black Label Society but Zakk Wylde's other band, Zakk Sabbath? And I find that kind of funny, but also at the same time, I remember that Zakk Wylde was one of the main, benchmark guitarists for Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, he was there when he did No More Tears. He was there when they did Black Rain. And he was also there in their very last tour. So, yeah, him and Ozzy had this, this brotherly connection. And so it makes sense that his band, Zakk Sabbath, is going to be on tour. It might as well be with his main band, Black Label Society, because I feel like that's really more attributed to one of the bands that inspired him and one of the men that has inspired him. So, I mean, what is it? The waves of, I guess you could say the waves, the motions of Ozzy Osbourne's death are still being felt to this day. They will for many, many more. Like, that was not a small person of the entertainment industry. And I'm not just saying music industry, the entertainment industry that we lost. So yeah, we still have guys paying their respects to him. So, yeah, with that, Black Label Society and Zakk Sabbath, and they're bringing along the band Dark Chapel. That's going to be at the Union. It's $57 all in, and it starts at 6 p.m. Then on the 9th, Jocelyn, really, her promotion, her booking agency, her booking company, I don't know what the exact term for it is right now, what you would call it, but Jaws Presents is what it's called. Jaws Presents, Snuffed on Sight, Manos de Fierro, Forced to Suffer, Mescalomaniacs, and Taste for Blood. Gonna be over at Church and State. That is a $20 show if you buy in advance, $25 if you pay at the door, and that'll be starting at 6 p.m. Then on the 12th, The Freaks and Harvest of Ash and Hoodoo Mama are going to be playing at Ace's High Saloon. That's $15, and it starts at 7 p.m. And then the 13th, lovely Friday the 13th, we're going to have Carrier, Bloody September, Xeno, and Twist Off over at Fellowship Hall. That is $12 and starts at 8 p.m. And then we have Bridge the Gap, Hobo Brigade, and Pirates of the Promised Land over at Ice House. That is a staggering $5 to enter, and it starts at 8 p.m. And then for all you emo kids, I'm talking millennial emo kids, the band Hawthorne Heights is doing their 20th anniversary tour of their seminal album, If Only You Were Lonely. So yeah, get your mascara out, straighten out your hair, put on that nice black shirt with the white tie and wearing black jeans and Converse high tops. And yeah, start screaming those lyrics that you were screaming at a picture of your girlfriend while all alone in the bathroom with the lights dimmed. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I was that kid. I just knew a lot of people who were. Yeah, I mean that without an ounce of irony. I did listen to Hawthorne Heights. I did, but it was mostly because my friends were listening to them. So I was just like, okay, I'll give them a try. And it's not like I don't have all the real guys. If anyone is watching me who has known me for more than 10 years, you know that Hawthorne Heights was actually kind of an inside joke with me and my little group of friends. And when I first got my first Instagram way back in 2012, I just called it Saying Sorry 2003. And that was a direct reference to one of Hawthorne Heights' most famous songs, which I thought it came out in 2003. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. I just assumed, 2003. Let's just go with that. And yeah, I still remember the lyrics. What about it? Anyway, that's gonna be a fun show. They're playing with Let Live and Creeper. That's gonna be at the Depot. $46, starts at 6 p.m. And the show that I'm definitely gonna try and be at is Bloodstar, Entranced, and Stench Descent over at Aces High. I haven't seen Bloodstar in a while. They haven't played a show in a while. They've been busy in the studio and writing new shit, and I'm excited to hear what they've got in store. And, well, I just love all the people in that band. They're great folks. I love them. And would you look at that? It's only $15 if you buy in advance and $20 if you pay at the door. Pretty cool. If you know the people, you could probably get on the guest list. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's going to be starting up around 7 p.m. And then on the 14th, this is a big one. The 14th has got a lot of shows happening. Just so many shows. Okay, well, there's 5. The one that, first off, at One Love Coffee, Big Boy, Apex Predator, Paradise, and Taste of Blood. That is $20 advance, $25 at the door, starting at 7 p.m. And then we have a nice little St. Patrick's Day warm-up, a St. Paddy's Day Irish bash with Murphy and the Giant and Hi-Fi Murder. That's going to be at the Handlebar, and it will be starting at 5 p.m. I do not know how much it's going to cost, but be sure that you don't pay in leprechaun gold. They won't like you for that, I'll tell you. Yeah. My Irish accent can use some work, but hey, St. Patrick's Day not for another couple of weeks. I'll be working on it till then. Anyway, the show that I'm going to be at on the 14th, Spiritual Cramp with Destiny Bond and No Guard. I absolutely love Spiritual Cramp. That album, Rude, is one of my favorites. It's definitely like at the top of my list. I won't tell you where for the best albums that came out in 2025, but it's up there. I will tell you it's within the top 3 for sure. To find out where it is, well, you're going to have to get a time machine to the future if you don't have the patience. But you'll find out in due time. Anyway, that's going to be at Kilby Court. It's $30, and it starts at 6 p.m. And then we have the band Mage, or Mage. I'm not sure how you pronounce that name. Meijj. Well, whatever it is. That band with Griebler, Malfeasance, and Gusano. That you have to ask a punk. Just message one of the bands for the address as to where you can find that show or where to see the show. And yeah, it's pay what you can. Just throw a couple of bucks to the door person so the band can get to the next state. And that'll be starting at 6 p.m. And finally, there is the Fire in the Mountains community pop-up. If you guys don't know, Fire in the Mountains is an annual metal festival that takes place at least it has taken place up in the Tetons in Wyoming, Teton National Park. I heard that they stopped doing it there and that they had to find another place, but I'm not exactly up to date on where Yeah, I'm not exactly up to date on the location of that event, but anyway, they're doing a community pop-up and they're doing like little mini local shows around the United States and just like a few select cities. And Salt Lake City happens to be one of them. And we will be celebrating that with the bands Fife, then Vicious Rumors, Acid Hologram, and Chasm Lurk. And yeah, not bad. I like to think that this is instead of a mini show, it's actually more of like a recruitment. Someone's scouting for bands to play the fest, like they did on like the road to Hellfest or Metalfest. No, the road to Wacken. Road to Wacken. They actually had like a scout from the Wacken festival offices scouting out any local underground metal bands that could be that would be decided to play the fest. I remember going to that. I remember seeing Sacrilegion play and trying to get on. They were not chosen. I don't know if any band was chosen from our show, but it was pretty cool. It was a good attempt. But I don't think that's what's happening with this Fire in the Mountains pop-up show. I think it's just a little micro show to build the hype, like that Kill Me Block Party show that I mentioned a while back. But anyway, if you want to go to this one, $15 if you're buying in advance, $20 at the door, and it starts at 8 p.m. Anyway, guys, that's all for me. I know this was a bit of a loaded episode, just more than an hour, and it's not even done yet. Dustin still has to give his part, but I hope that you guys were not bored by me. and yeah, guys, I'm really stoked that I'm really happy that you guys tune in to hear our tales and to hear what other shows may be coming up, and just anything that you can do to get involved to really help out the underground and just music and entertainment in general. I mean, we all really need it right now because of the rise of technology and AI taking over and all this crazy shit. It's getting hard to like really distinguish what is made by humans and what is made by ones and zeros. You know what I mean? I believe that us folks who still remember a time before computers or before like computers were so readily available, that we were able to distinguish what is real and what is programmed. Because if it's programmed, it's just product. If it's real, then it's actual art. There's actual passion put into it, Digital stuff can be used to enhance it or to help realize it, but I don't know. There's just, you can create stuff digitally. You can, but if it's something made by an actual machine, then that's not art. That's not art. You're just making something that people can laugh at. I have a whole soapbox with where the entertainment industry is going with the rise of technology, but I'm gonna say that for another time. It's neither here nor there, guys. But yeah. In all, just thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us. Thank you for listening to Punkcast and Live and Wired and Tales from the Pit. It really helps us because we're not just doing this in vain. We're doing this because we want to make sure that you guys know what's going on and, that you don't miss it. Don't want to be, don't be a victim of FOMO. FOMO, fear of missing out. There's still plenty of good shit to behold in this world, especially in the musical industry, especially with arts and entertainment. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not devoid of talent and passion. Sure, it may be oversaturated because it's all readily available and gives the illusion that it's all easily produced. It's not. There's still a lot of hard work that goes into it. Real art comes from pain, man. Okay, I'm done going on this tangent. Guys, thank you again for listening to my ramblings, listening to my tales, and week in, week out. I will catch you on the next one. Once again, I am Eric the Unit Norris from SLC Punkcast, Live and Wired, Tales from the Pit. I will catch you on the next episode. I will see you later. Actually, I'll see you in the pit, motherfuckers. Dustin, take it away.
Thank you, Eric. And now we go around the world in no particular order, as per usual, I'm going to jump in on this Bad Time Records tour featuring Kill Lincoln, Jur, and Bad Operation. Starts on the 10th, which looks like it's sold out in Denver. They'll be here in Salt Lake on the 11th. With them, we've got Sorry Sweetheart, you can see at the bottom, 2:30, The Palms, Flying Raccoon Suit, The Best of the Worst, Omnigon, and the Doom Stompers, all joining at various parts of the tour. The tour going, March, and then picking up back in June, and then a little bit more in August. But they'll be here, then Boise on the 12th, Seattle on the 13th, that's sold out, 14th, Portland, Berkeley, 16th, Santa Ana, and a couple more in California and so forth. So check that out. They'll be in Mesa, Arizona on the 20th, wrapping up this leg or time around on the 21st in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then we are going to the Hempsteadies. They've got a show coming up at the Space Ballroom in Hamden, Connecticut on March 12th. As you can see on the flyer, they've got a few other ones coming, but their new album is due out this spring, Dead Are Undead. Then later in the month, Grade 2, they've got Talk About It. Their new album's coming out. Love those guys. They're so great. They'll be supporting Stomper 98 on looks like 2 of those shows, which is pretty cool. But March 20th, they'll be in Northern Ireland, then in Ireland and Dublin on the 21st, Nottingham on the 28th, 29th in Leeds, and so forth. We'll get to talking about that one more in coming weeks. This next one is March. Well, that one passed, so we'll skip that one. March 7th today, True Breed, Bad Terms, Total Wine, and Off the Top. They'll all be playing in Philly. It's $20 today. If you already have your tickets, you would have paid $15. Music starts today. Doors are at 7. Make sure you go check out all those bands, killer bands on that one. Also today, Union 13 are playing with Full Offense, Extra, Odio, Fester Youth, something green, Litmus Green. Is that what that is? Yep, Litmus Green. It is March 7th in San Pedro, California. $10 at the door. That's pretty great. Its doors are at 5. It's an all-ages show. It's at the Sardine. Get them all ages out there. Next up, Eric mentioned this one. Here's a flyer for it. The Spiritual Cramp show on March 13th. It'll be here in Salt Lake, but Spiritual Cramp will be on tour with Destiny Bond, No Guard, and Direct Threat. So some cool bands to go check out with Spiritual Cramp. Also coming to Salt Lake and on tour right now this coming week. Well, today they're in Seattle. It's the Last Gang, Crazy in the Brains, and Hans Gruber and the Diehards. They'll be in Bremerton on the 8th, Portland on the 10th, Boise on the 11th at Shredder. They'll be here in Salt Lake on the 12th at the Beehive, Denver at Moe's Barbecue on the 13th, Colorado Springs, and wrapping up in Durango, Colorado. Bunch of killer bands to go see on that one. Here's that flyer that No Guard is going to be out on tour, and they'll be playing, as I said, Spiritual Cramp, Destiny Bond. They'll be doing some shows with Dead City, Basic Needs. I already kind of covered, Eric. No, actually, we didn't cover any of those. I take it back. They'll be in Minneapolis on the 10th, Kansas City on the 11th. Oh, they are moving. Wichita on the 12th, Denver 13th, and then here in Salt Lake City on the 14th. You can see, and we'll cover a little bit more in the future for some of them other shows, but go check out No Guard. They're great. Sunday, March 8th, go check out our pal Jenny Wu. It looks like it's International Women's Day on that day, women, and they are playing with Hot Patooties and Noise Agents. It's a Sunday matinee show at Dune Room in Indio, California, so go check that out. Doors are at 3, show is at 7. It's $10 donation. It's benefiting a shelter from the storm. So go check it out. Again, tickets $10. Dune Room in Indio. Next up, what do we got? Just a couple left to go. Blisterhead, just talked to those guys. They've got some shows coming up today. Probably playing right now. Malmo on the 13th. Gothenburg on the 19th through the 21st, they'll be in Germany, and then they got a couple other shows coming up, so go check out Blisterhead Official to get more details on what they're doing. Then Oi, It's a Punk show on March 20th featuring Bullshit Detector. Doors are at 7, all ages show. You can scan that QR code there. You'll also get to see Schaefer Battle, Sick'em, Antagonizers, ATL, Mugger, Powers That Be, Culture Shock, And all of that will be in Atlanta, so go check out that show in Atlanta. And we'll wrap up with this show happening today, maybe very soon. It's a Damn It Records showcase, Punk at the Poco. You get to see Hurting Germs, The Misspelt, and Crack Killers. That's in Chatham, and it's £5 to enter, 7 p.m. until late. So go check it out, and support our pals in Damn It Records. That's it for Live and Wired this week. We'll catch you on the next one. If there's anything that you would like us to share, send it our way. We'll talk about the flyers, post them here. The flyers is basically why we do this, because it's very cool, and a lot of effort goes into putting those together. Until next time,